experience of untying your shoes and the knot gets so bad and you can't get it undone that you have to pull your shoe off and kind of work on it separately? I don't have that problem with sandals, but I certainly have that problem with other things. Or maybe you have the experience where you pull out from your pocket your earbuds, right? Not the wireless ones, the ones with wires. And they're all jumbled up in a knot. You got to be really delicate because those wires are just so thin. There's a common experience that I think we've all had. We've all wrestled with knots. Shoelaces, earbuds. I've even got knots in my rosary when it's in my pocket. Whether it's power cords or ropes, whatever. We've experienced the frustrating, delicate work of trying to undo knots in our life. And as common of an experience as this is, I would ask you to consider not just the physical reality of untying knots, but the spiritual, the emotional, the moral metaphor that we all wrestle with knots from time to time in our life. It's not just shoelaces and earbuds. It's a reality of life. We often get all bound up and knotted up, and we just need to untie things every now and then. So why is it? Why is it, as we think about this incredible passage from the gospel today, the profound confession of faith that Simon Peter makes, this leap of faith, this reckless proposal, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And because of that, Jesus sees in him a relationship that Simon has with the Father and says, you are now Peter, the rock upon which I'll build my church. I give you authority over the kingdom of heaven. You have power to bind and power to loose. So why is it that our church is really well known for binding? Do you ever notice that? Right, the reputation of the Catholic Church, I hear it from students all the time. Oh my gosh, you Catholics, you've got so many rules. Every time it seems that there's a conversation about some social issue, somebody somewhere is saying, oh, well, the church binds this up, or the church has this rule on pain of sin, or here's the church binding something, or tying something, or restricting something. It seems that's the reputation. I don't know if it's fair, but at least that's the reputation that we tend to have. Why is it, though, that Jesus gave to Peter, and then by extension the whole church, the mission, not just to bind, but to loose as well, to untie burdens, to wrestle with the brokenness of the human experience, and have the graces, the gift of mercies, the sacraments, and all of the incredible spiritual treasures that we have to be able to freely give them away, and the authority to untie heavy burdens. Didn't Jesus criticize those religious leaders of his day? Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, for you tie up heavy moral burdens and set them on people's shoulders. Didn't he say, come to me, because my yoke is easy, my burden is light? Isn't the heart of the good news the responsibility and the authority to untie these heavy burdens and liberate people? I was excited this week as I was praying with this reading, not just because I have a tremendous devotion to St. Peter, and anytime you see St. Peter having a prominent role in the gospel, it gets me excited. That's one reason. But the other reason is I find in these words a personal mission. a beautiful summary of our ministry. That as we wrestle with doing ministry on a college campus, as we care for people, as we accompany you who are walking through this stage of life that can sometimes bring about a lot of different knots and burdens, a lot of different tangles and messes, a lot of brokenness and heartache, a lot of pain, and a lot of confusion. As you wrestle with this, I get excited because I lean heavily under this mission given to Simon Peter. I was named after. My father was buried here. I was named after him. So I take this personally, this idea that we get to be that community. We get to continue the mission of untying those knots, of lifting those burdens, of bestowing upon anyone who would ask the incredible graces of the church, the mercy, the kindness, the grace, the liberation. Because remember, I love that passage. John chapter 10, verse 10. Jesus summarized his whole message of good news. I have come so that you may have life and have it more abundantly.